Emotional manipulation is a powerful and often hidden way to control someone's feelings, thoughts, and actions. It can happen in any relationship, romantic, family, friendships, or even at work. The manipulator uses your emotions as tools, shaping your responses to benefit themselves, often at your expense. This kind of control can be subtle, making it hard to recognize at first, but its effects can be deeply damaging over time. It's not always easy to spot because emotional manipulation often hides behind everyday interactions. Sometimes it looks like concern or care, but underneath, there's an intent to influence your choices, or make you doubt your own feelings. Manipulators are skilled at disguising their true motives, making you question your own judgment. Manipulators use sneaky tactics to get what they want. They might use flattery, guilt trips, or even silent treatment to sway your decisions. Sometimes, they'll twist your words or make you feel like you're overreacting, all to keep you off balance and easier to control. These tactics can show up in texts, phone calls, or face-to-face conversations. You might notice that after talking to this person, you feel drained, anxious, or unsure about what really happened. Manipulators often play on your emotions like guilt, fear, or obligation. They know how to push your buttons, making you feel responsible for their happiness or well-being. This emotional pressure can make you act against your own best interests, just to keep the peace or avoid conflict. Over time, this can leave you feeling confused, anxious, and unsure of yourself. You might start doubting your own feelings or second-guessing your decisions. This is exactly what the manipulator wants, to make you more dependent on their approval and less confident in your own judgment. Manipulators often twist situations to make you feel responsible for their feelings or actions. They might blame you for their bad mood or say things like, "You made me do this," shifting the responsibility onto you. This can make you feel guilty for things that aren't your fault. They might say things like, "If you really loved me you would," or, "I guess I just care more than you do." These statements are designed to make you question your love, loyalty, or commitment, and to pressure you into doing things you're uncomfortable with. This is a way to pressure you into doing something you don't want to do. You might find yourself agreeing to things just to avoid an argument or to keep the other person happy, even if it means sacrificing your own needs or boundaries. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to protecting yourself. It's important to remember that your feelings and boundaries matter. You have the right to say no, to take time for yourself, and to expect respect in your relationships. Remember, healthy relationships are built on trust, respect, and open communication. Both people should feel safe, valued, and free to express themselves without fear of manipulation or retaliation. In a supportive relationship, both people listen to each other, respect each other's boundaries, and work together to solve problems. No one should feel pressured, controlled, or made to feel small. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. Trust your instincts. If you notice patterns of manipulation, take them seriously. Your feelings are valid, and you deserve to be treated with kindness and honesty. If you feel like you're being manipulated, speak up. Set clear boundaries and communicate your needs. If the other person truly cares about you, they will respect your feelings and work with you to build a healthier relationship. You deserve to be in a relationship where your feelings are valued, your voice is heard, and you feel safe to be yourself. Don't settle for less. Your emotional well-being matters. Emotional manipulation can be incredibly subtle, and often, it creeps into our lives without us even realizing it. It can happen in any relationship, romantic, friendships, family, or even at work. The manipulator's tactics are often so well disguised that you might start to question your own feelings or judgment. That's why it's so important to learn how to recognize the early warning signs so you can protect yourself and maintain healthy boundaries. There are several common signs to look out for if you suspect someone might be trying to manipulate you emotionally. These signs can be subtle at first, but over time, they can have a significant impact on your self-esteem and well-being. It's important to trust your instincts. If something feels off, it's worth paying attention to. One major red flag is guilt tripping. This is when someone tries to make you feel guilty for not meeting their expectations or for setting boundaries. They might say things like, "If you really cared about me, you'd do this," or act hurt when you make decisions that are best for you. Over time, this can make you feel responsible for their emotions, even when you shouldn't be. Another sign to watch for is gaslighting. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation, where the manipulator tries to make you doubt your own reality or memory. They might deny things they've said or done, even when you remember them clearly, or insist that you're overreacting or being too sensitive. Over time, this can make you question your own sanity and become more reliant on the manipulator's version of events. For example, they might say, "That never happened," or "You're imagining things," even when you know the truth. Isolation is another powerful tactic used by emotional manipulators. They may try to control who you spend time with, discourage you from seeing friends or family, or make you feel guilty for wanting to maintain other relationships. This can happen gradually, with the manipulator making subtle comments or creating drama whenever you make plans without them. The goal is to cut you off from your support system, making you more dependent on them for emotional support and validation. Recognizing these signs early can help you take steps to protect yourself and seek help if needed. Being in a relationship with an emotional manipulator takes a heavy toll. You might constantly feel anxious, walking on eggshells to avoid upsetting them. Their tactics can erode your self-esteem, making you doubt your own judgment. The constant manipulation can leave you feeling drained and emotionally exhausted. You might withdraw from friends and family, feeling isolated and alone. Over time, this can lead to feelings of depression and hopelessness. Remember, you are not to blame for someone else's manipulative behavior. It's important to recognize the signs and take steps to protect yourself. Imagine this. Sarah, after a long and exhausting day at work, sits at her desk, lost in thought. She's so caught up in her tasks and the stress of the day that she forgets to call her boyfriend Mark as she usually does. It's a simple mistake, something that could happen to anyone. But for Sarah, this small oversight is about to become much bigger than she expects. When Mark realizes she hasn't called, he immediately jumps to conclusions. He gets upset, his voice rising as he accuses Sarah of not caring about him or their relationship. Instead of asking if she's okay or if something happened, he lashes out, making her feel like she's done something terribly wrong. Mark doesn't stop there. He starts bringing up old arguments and past mistakes, reminding Sarah of every time she's let him down, no matter how small. The weight of his words makes her feel guilty, as if she's always the one at fault, even when she's done nothing wrong. This is a classic example of guilt tripping, a manipulative tactic where one person makes another feel responsible for their emotions or actions. Over time, this can wear down a person's self-esteem and make them question their own worth. Now let's look at another scenario. John and Lisa are having a conversation, and Lisa tries to express how something John said made her feel hurt. Instead of listening, John rolls his eyes and tells her she's just being too sensitive, dismissing her feelings entirely. When Lisa tries to explain further, John denies ever saying anything hurtful. He insists she must be imagining things or that she's overreacting. Lisa starts to doubt her own memory and feelings, wondering if she's really the problem. This is a form of gaslighting, a psychological manipulation where someone makes you question your reality. Over time, victims of gaslighting can lose trust in their own perceptions, making them more dependent on the manipulator's version of events. Consider yet another situation, a husband who constantly criticizes his wife's friends and family. He tells her that her friends are a bad influence or that her family doesn't really care about her. He might even make her feel guilty for wanting to spend time with them. Eventually, the wife starts to believe him. She distances herself from her loved ones, feeling isolated and alone. She may even start to think that her husband is the only person she can truly rely on. This isolation tactic is a powerful form of control. By cutting her off from her support system, the husband gains more influence over her thoughts and actions. These subtle yet damaging behaviors are all forms of emotional manipulation. Recognizing them is the first step toward breaking free and reclaiming your sense of self. Early detection is key to protecting yourself from emotional manipulation. Pay attention to how you feel around this person. Do you feel anxious, drained, or constantly on edge? Trust your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't ignore red flags or dismiss your feelings. Talk to someone you trust, like a friend, family member, or therapist. Remember, you deserve to be in a relationship where you feel safe, respected, and loved. Don't settle for anything less. If you recognize signs of manipulation in your relationship, it's crucial to take action. The first step is to acknowledge what's happening. Don't minimize the behavior or blame yourself. Set boundaries. Clearly communicate what you will and will not tolerate. This might be uncomfortable at first, but it's essential for your well-being. Don't engage in their games. Manipulators thrive on emotional reactions. Stay calm and assertive, and don't be afraid to walk away from the situation. Building healthy boundaries is crucial for protecting yourself from manipulation. This means learning to say no without feeling guilty and prioritizing your own needs. Start by identifying your limits. What are you willing to tolerate? And what are your deal breakers? Communicate these boundaries clearly and assertively. Don't be afraid to enforce consequences if someone repeatedly crosses your boundaries. This might mean taking a break from the relationship or ending it altogether. Remember, you don't have to face this alone. Reach out to trusted friends, family members, or a therapist. They can offer support, guidance, and a listening ear. There are also many resources available to help you understand and deal with emotional manipulation. Consider seeking professional help from a therapist specializing in relationships. You deserve to be in a loving, respectful relationship where your feelings are valued. Don't settle for anything less. Choose partners who treat you with kindness, empathy, and understanding. Remember, healthy relationships are built on a foundation of trust, respect, and open communication. If you're experiencing emotional manipulation, take steps to protect yourself and seek support. You are not alone, and there is help available. By understanding the signs of manipulation, setting boundaries, and seeking support, you can create healthy, fulfilling relationships that bring joy and happiness.